How many people are actually going to see you topless? 99% of the people you bump into, or if not even more, are never going to see you without your top on. They're never going to see your body. You're the person who's going to see you topless the most. So how do you want to look? Considering you're the one who's going to see your body every day, how do you want your body to look? A new name on the list, but once again, some information that you sometimes have to question whether it should be promoted online. We're looking at an individual named Simone, I believe, and it's how I eat everything I want and don't gain weight and have abs. Lol. That always feels really uncomfortable saying like lol out loud. I remember when I was at school and everyone used to type like LOL, like laugh out loud, and someone would say it in person and be like lol, and I'd be like, this makes me feel uncomfortable, but I don't know why. But now you know, so here we go.
Today I'm going to show you how I have abs and I don't work out and I eat whatever I want.
Funnily enough, everybody has abs. Categorically, everybody has abdominal muscles. What will determine how visible those abs are will largely be your body fat percentage. You can have really developed abdominal muscles, but if you're at quite a high body fat percentage, you won't be able to see them due to having the additional body fat preventing you from seeing the definition. If you're quite lean, even if you don't work out, and maybe even don't have particularly developed abdominal muscles, you'll probably be able to see your abs. It really, in many cases, does come down to body fat percentage, how lean you are. That being said, the abs are like any other muscle. To develop them, you want to work them. So work them out, so go through appropriate range of motion based movements that essentially take them against resistance, training hard, basically training too if you're not close to failure. There's this big idea and misconception that, oh, if you work out your abs you'll get like a big blocky waist. No, you will not. No, you will not. If you work out your abs, you'll simply develop the abdominal muscles, which means that you may be able to see them at higher body fat percentages because they're actually more developed. They may even potentially look better when you are leaner because the shaping and the sizing of the muscles you are now showing will be more prominent due to the progress that you've made. So many things. So no, work out your abs and training your abs is not a bad thing. You don't have to, but that being said, you don't have to train any muscle if you don't want to.
If I want that entire bag of chips, I'm gonna eat it. If I want a 10-pack of Krispy Kreme's donuts, I'm gonna eat it. And the reason I do that, or I can do that, is because every day I don't really go over my daily maximum caloric intake.
This is kind of what I spoke about on the Zoe Unlimited video, I believe last week or earlier this week, in which case it really is calories in versus calories out. Yes, if you eat far more calories than you expend, you're probably going to gain weight, therefore probably gain body fat, therefore probably lose definition in the abdominal region and not be able to see your abs anymore. If you don't go over your calories, you'll probably maintain weight. And if you're at a body fat percentage that's relatively lean, then maintaining weight will probably allow you to maintain abdominal definition. Or if you go under, you're probably going to lose weight, therefore potentially lose body fat and then maybe even be more defined. It really is caloric intake and caloric expenditure. And when people say they eat everything they want to, they eat so much, she's still saying that she eats within her calorie allowance. The everything that she wants to eat still align with the caloric limitations that she's provided herself with. Therefore, she's actually just eating within maintenance.
This is such a good tip. Not sucked in, sucked in. Always suck in your stomach. Always suck in your stomach.
Please don't always suck in your stomach. You don't need to always suck in your stomach, and frankly, that must be bloody tiring. She makes a joke saying she thinks it could like burn more body fat, whatever it may be, but she almost suggests that in doing so, this is allowing her to maintain abdominal definition, when in reality, I think it's actually just not necessary. No one has a flat stomach all the time. I think the idea that you almost have to like suck in your stomach every day constantly to look like you are a certain shape, size, or whatever it may be is almost inherently problematic in itself, because it's almost indicating that you shouldn't just relax, you shouldn't actually just be, you shouldn't just exist with the body you have. I'm relatively lean in the grand scheme of things. I have abdominal definition, but if I sit down, probably doesn't look like it, let's be honest, because I'm rolled over. Everything's rolled over with me. That's just having a human body. That is life. If you're sat down, you're probably experiencing the same thing. You look down, you're like, ooh, there are maybe even rolls there. Same. It's just being human. We all carry some body fat, we all carry some water retention. There is also excess skin as well to consider. No one is just perfectly flat and lean all the time unless you are exceptionally lean, and even then, when you sit down, you will probably still have rolls. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. That is simply just being a human with a body that has what it needs needs to have to survive. Some fat, some water, some muscle, some skin. Like, those are all very important when it comes to survival. So she goes on to talk about the workout she used to do to help her keep this abdominal definition. And you see all of these movements that we're seeing, or a lot of these movements I should say, not all of them, but a lot of them, didn't involve much spinal flexion. There is some spinal flexion here because the distance between the sternum and the pelvis is reducing. But if you go back and look at the mountain climbers, the plank crunches, things like that, look at her torso, especially around the abdominal region. Minimal spinal flexion. The distance between the pelvis and sternum and the pelvis not really changing. If you really want to work your abdominal region really effectively, actually develop it to the point where you are developing the muscles, maybe even to the point where you could actually see abdominal definition at higher body fat percentage, spinal flexion. And spinal flexion is essentially the rolling of the spine, reducing that distance that I spoke about. When you're doing like a crunch variation, really think about you almost like peeling your back. This sounds really horrible. I'm so sorry, but just trust me on this. Think about you're peeling your spine off the mat one vertebrae at a time, like really rolling your spine. That's exactly what we want to achieve. Very quickly, I've got to throw it out there. Link down below, you've got a few things. You've got the link to work with myself, Ryder, or Beth on a one-to-one coaching basis where we will help coach you towards your goals, whatever they may be. You've also got the link to join the Train Heroic group coaching application, which costs less than your Netflix subscription, where you sign up and join a program that I've created for you to work out at home or work out at the gym along other members of the community. There's even a message board for you to throw some bits in there as well. Or you've got the link to the TFNL workout guides, which are fitness resources that cover so many different things: home workouts, gym workouts, all sorts. They cover nutrition, mental health, how to lose weight, how to gain muscle, so many things you probably need to know along your fitness journey, whilst also actually including many months of programming for you to follow, so you don't need to think about anything. And they are all linked down below in the description as well. So if anything tickles your pickle, have a gander and let me know what tickles your pickle. The problem I find in videos like this, sadly, is that I guess it's open to interpretation, but the interpretation I take from it is, especially if you actually watch the whole video, there's quite a lot of information that's promoted throughout this video, and provided throughout this video, I should say, that essentially isn't necessarily true. And even in a lot of cases, she does turn around and say, I don't know if this is true, or I don't know anything, I don't even know why I'm saying this, but you're still saying it. And even if you acknowledge that you don't know if it's true, someone's going to assume that they can trust you, someone's going to assume what you're saying is true, and maybe that's on them. It's still promoting information that you don't actually know to be accurate. If I'm promoting information on my channel, I like to think most of it, if not all of it, is information that I believe to be accurate. I will be wrong in some cases. I'm human, sometimes I am wrong, and sometimes the literature changes. What I know when I'm filming this video may be incorrect due to new literature and new research in 6 months' time. Who knows? Like I say 1,000 times, if you want to have abs and not gain weight, eat less, move more, go to the gym. Most of you probably know that. But what I can say is that some of you can eat whatever you want and not gain weight. Because frankly, whatever you want to eat probably still puts you at maintenance calories or maybe even in a deficit. You may not have a massive appetite. You may not be what someone would describe as a foodie. Others of you who want to eat whatever they want may gain weight because maybe you are a bit more interested in food. Maybe you enjoy cuisines a bit more. Maybe you just actually really enjoy the eating process, which is absolutely fine. Like, well, you are allowed to enjoy food. Doing so may put you over your calories, which then could result in you gaining weight, contrary to what this video may suggest if you follow her tips and eat what you want, but you're probably still going to gain weight. Is that important to you? Does that really matter? Like, the thing I try and rationalize is how many people in the world, genuine question, because I think about this sometimes, how many people are actually going to see you topless? 99% of the people you bump into, or if not even more, are never going to see you without your top on. They're never going to see your body. You're the person who's going to see you topless the most. So how do you want to look? Considering you're the one who's going to see your body every day, how do you want your body to look? I know it's easy saying, oh, look how you want to look, don't look how other people want you to look. I get it, it's easier said than done. But does it not hold some truth? Is that you're the one who sees it the most, you're the one whose happiness it's determining, and you're the one who's owning that body, who has that body, and whose body is functioning for their living. So how do you want it to look? And if you want to be quote unquote skinnier, if you want to have a physique somewhat similar to this individual, you probably won't, because frankly the only person who has this physique is this person. The only person who has your physique and your body shape and just your body in general is you. You can train, you can do the things you need to do to acquire similar body fat percentage, but you don't know how you're going to look at that body fat percentage compared to this person. Everybody looks different, and that's absolutely fine. What you kind of have to identify is this, is what are your goals, who are you trying to achieve those goals for, and how much of that is enhancing your happiness or taking away from your happiness. So does depriving yourself of foods that you really enjoy because you want to reach your potential goals goals make you happier? If so, fantastic, bloody laughing. If not, what's more important? Reaching an aesthetic goal or actually just being a bit happier? Again, or maybe you could even find a steady medium. Again, I'm not saying go out and eat everything in the world and do everything you want to do. Maybe there's balance there. And maybe videos like this might not necessarily be promoting the best message, or maybe it's not intentional. And I think, like I said earlier, it's largely up to interpretation. Maybe it's about consuming more content that actually makes you feel a bit better about yourself and also provides some pretty accurate and relevant information rather than videos that might not necessarily make you be feeling that way, because realistically, lots of people watching this video are comparing their physique to this individual and probably feel bad about themselves because they may not look how this individual looks. But like I said, no one else does but her. Just my waffle and just my opinion. But until the next one, thank you for tolerating me. Thank you for tolerating my description of my belly, and thank you for tolerating the video.